Hey there, I'm Jason Morris with the Home Gallery team and Keller Williams Realty. Welcome to my video blog. Today's topic is going to be pricing. We're going to talk about this because as folks are starting to hear, we're back in a seller's market again. Competition is getting a little bit more fierce. We're starting to see multiple offers and things like that. So what does that mean? But before we get into that, if you're thinking about selling a home, make sure you click the link for Get a Free Value Report. And if you're thinking about buying a home, make sure that you click the link for Search for Properties online. Now back to our topic. So, what does low inventory and high demand do to pricing? Well, I guess the short answer is it means that you can get more for the sale price of your house than you would have been able to get at the same time last year. Now, one of the things that I want to caution you on is that every single time I sit down with a homeowner and I ask the question, how much do you feel you have to pad the price of your house by in order to allow for negotiation, I get the universal response of 10%. Okay? That's what every single homeowner I have ever asked that question of has told me. I mean, the exceptions to that are almost none. It's like everybody got together and coordinated their responses. So the average homeowner thinks that they have to pad the price by about 10% in order to allow for negotiation. Now, in this market, reality is actually, in most neighborhoods, less than 3%. Okay? That's your margin of error. If you're within 3%, you're generally going to get offers. If not, you're going to have to do price reductions until you get to the point where you're within 3% of the right number. Okay, now there's a long explanation as to why the average person thinks that the real number is 10%. We don't have time to get into that right now. But let's talk about this. So, if you overprice market value, if you overshoot market value by 10% and your margin of error is 3%, that means that you are 7% over the mark. Okay? Now, you're thinking, all right, well, I got to do a couple of price reductions. And yes, that's probably true. That being said, this kind of error, that if you miss by that much, it's going to kill you. You're not going to recover fast enough in order to avoid losing money. The reason is that if this is your maximum allowable margin of error, well, 3 goes into 7 times. 3 goes into 7 a little bit more than 2 times. We're just going to round off and call it 2 times to keep the math simple enough for me to do in my head, okay? It goes in a little bit more than 2 times, all right? So we're twice our allowable, well, more than twice our allowable margin of error. Well, that really translates into, if you remember grade school math, when we're calculating percentages, if something is twice what you need, it's 200%. Okay? So if we miss by 7%, and this is our number here, 3 goes into 7 a little bit more than 200, or a little bit more than 2 times, we're more than 200% in excess of what our allowable margin of error is, or I call it the negotiation gap. Are we 200% overpriced? No, we're not double the list price, but we're 200% over our margin of error. Okay, so what ends up happening when you come in with numbers this high, it drives your time on market up so much because you have to hang out and wait and keep on reducing prices until you get within this 3% margin. It drives your time on market up so much that now folks think there's something wrong with your house. And you get less for it than you would have if you had the numbers right and you came out within that 3% margin of error. Okay? So this is a big deal. It's a big deal if you're a seller and you're thinking about putting your house on the market, because you're not going to be able to draw the competition for your house that you need in order to get a great price if you're 200% over the margin of error. You just simply won't. The buyers are going to look at it. They're going to see you come on. They will have been looking for a long period of time, so they know what a good deal looks like. Your house is going to hit the market, and even if it looks like $1 million, you're going to be so far outside of what they expect in terms of price that the response is going to be, I've seen better. And that is not the emotional response that is going to sell your house. Okay? And if you're thinking, well, if someone likes my house, they'll make me an offer. Well, statistics show otherwise. If you're this far over, what's going to happen is you're going to get no action. You have to keep on doing price reductions until you get in here, and then you'll get your offer, okay? So let's step out onto the market intelligently. Let's do the math. Let's figure out the numbers. And if you need help with that, that's when you want to talk to an experienced agent who can sit down and show you how all this stuff works and do the math on your home. If you would like to have that kind of information, I would love to help you with it. We can have somebody from my team go out and do it in a relatively short period of time, okay? So if you're thinking about all this stuff and you want to know the answer on your home, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. As always, I'm Jason Morris. Thanks for your time and attention. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you on the next video.